Hey everyone, this is Miriam from Ultimate Solutions, the training department. We're going to be explaining FERP, which is a restaurants management system developed by Ultimate Solutions. FERP is pretty user-friendly and it aims to organize and facilitate your work to make sure that the restaurant is run in the most efficient and easiest way possible. Without further ado, we'll get started. First of all, we'll open the stocks. And then we're going to talk about the items transfer request. That's the first screen we're going to be talking about. So we'll go through it together so you guys would know how to use the functions that this screen offers. Clearly from the title, this screen is where you can place a request for a transfer. And by the way, when you're making the actual transfer, you can retrieve the information or the details for the transfer itself from the transfer request. However, it is not an obligation to have a previous transfer request to process an actual transfer. So you can actually make the transfer without a transfer request, but more on that in the screen that we will discuss after this one. So we're going to start with the items transfer request screen. First, we will click on add new item transfer request, which will take us to the screen where we can add the details. First of all, we will select the branch. The number of the document and the date, both are automatic. Then we will select the warehouse we're transferring to and also the warehouse that we're transferring from. As for the reference number and the description, both of these fields are optional. Any start field, though, is mandatory. We'll have to fill that in. So this is the master data. We'll move on to the detailed data, which is the second tab we have here. And note that you cannot open the detailed data unless you fill in the mandatory fields in the master data. So you will click on Add Transfer Details. And then we will select the item, the measurement unit, which is going to be the kilogram in this case. And we will also specify the quantity that we're going to transfer. So that's basically everything in the screen. Don't forget to save though before you exit so that your changes would not get discarded. So then we will move on to item transfer. Alright, so like we mentioned before, you do not necessarily need an item transfer request to process an item transfer order, but you can retrieve the data in the item transfer order from an item transfer request. It's pretty flexible here, so it's really up to the user and their policy. First of all, we will click on Add. Alright, and it will take us to this screen where we can enter the transfer details. Select the branch, the document number and date, both are automatic. We will select Transfer 1 from the Transfer Type drop-down menu. And in stock, we will select the main stock that we're transferring from. And in the other field, to stock, we will basically select the branch that we're transferring to or the warehouse that we're transferring to. Reference number and description are optional. And then we'll move on to detailed data. So in detailed data, we have two options, either to add transfer details or show item transfer requests. You will click on show item transfer requests and it will show you the previous request. So if you want to use a transfer request, then check the box on the right, add, and then you will click on show and it will fill in the transfer itself with the details from the request. The user also has the option to modify the quantity. Alright, so the system will also give you the available quantity at the warehouse that you're transferring from. However, if you do not want to use a previous transfer request, then we will go ahead and click on Add Transfer Details. And then we will enter the data, which is the item, measurement unit, and it's the kilogram as well in this case. And we will also enter the quantity needed for this transfer. The system after that will show you the cost and also the available quantity based on the information that we have previously set up in the incoming. As for item description, that is in case you want to add any notes about this transfer, and also do not forget to save before you exit. After you save, it will show you the transfer order in this screen. Alright, so in next lecture, we are going to be talking about the receiving transfer. Thank you for watching and we will see you again soon.